There we go. All right, guys. So welcome, Coach Dan here with you from the basement. And this is you see behind me, it's a whiteboard. It's going to be a whiteboard night, kids, which is going to be pretty amazing. There is some learning to be done tonight, which is going to be great, hopefully helpful to you in the whole process of things, which will be good. All right, so the Go Team exists to equip and inspire busy coaches with the essentials to build freedom, bringing businesses that help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. So that is kind of what we're all about here, and really what we love to do is to help people just continually in that process take their next right step. Next right step, next right step. And when you do that, guys, continually and day in and day out with consistency, you build a great trust with folks. You don't need to be a professional. You don't need to be like the bestest nutrition person. You don't need to be the bestest worker outer. You don't even have to have the best progress to be a good friend, to be a good follower upper, which is really, really helpful. Okay, I'm gonna put mute here real quick for everybody, just in case. Hold on, mute all real fast. Good. All right, so it's really important for us to have that follow through, guys. And it's really, I think it helps us to ultimately build credibility with our people, and also get great results, right? Because that's what this is all about. When you can get great results with people, they're gonna stick with you. They'll go, oh man, Danielle, that gal, she was amazing. She got me the best progress ever. I'm sticking with her. We're in this thing together. And then what happens, guys, is that when you start to ask people to consider the whole coaching thing, they go, yeah, because I really trust you. You know, I trust you that and you may not have everything figured out, but I trust their heart. And if you can trust somebody's heart in the way of doing something, oh man, that makes all the difference in the entire world. So good stuff. All right, so we're going to move on here just a bit. Our process real fast, and we went over that last week, so actually that's really quickly. I want to focus on that bottom left corner. Can you guys see that in this little slide thing here? It says complexity is the enemy of execution, which is part of the reason why we have portion control containers. Can I get an amen? Yes, come on, simplicity, right? You get too complex, and it's like, I remember back in the day, Bryce and I were back in the day, right? Back in the day when there's containers and things like that. Actually, several of us are probably like that. TJ, definitely, and I were like that. Where like, good luck, kid. Go into MyFitnessPal, enter your macronutrient ratios, and make sure you're logging everything, every single meal where you've got it logged, and not every single meal, but every single piece of food is logged. And man, that just made things so complex, and people just didn't do it, and we didn't get great results. And honestly, guys, as a company, we've gotten so much better results with 21-day fix once 21-day fix hit. And now other, of course, programs have adopted that whole nutrition style and making things somewhat simple. All right, so quick shout out to the new coaches in the house. Kelsey, are you on?
Yes.
Awesome. I think you have somebody to introduce.
I do?
You do? Oh,
I thought
there she is. Talk to us.
I already Danielle, I thought.
But she wasn't here last week, was she?
Oh, she wasn't. I'm sorry.
So now we can do it in person. I'm going to let you do it.
So this is Danielle. I actually met her through work. We're nurses at St. Joe here in Plymouth. She works on a different floor than I do, but we've graduated around the same time, became nurses around the same time. So we were in a training program together starting off. She's absolutely hilarious. I love talking with her. She's very motivated, driven, has her mind set on her goals, and I love it. She started doing challenges with me after she started talking to me about Beachbody, and she's probably done every challenge with me since I've started. I noticed right away that she was very consistent and very fun girl. Thought she'd be an awesome coach. So I finally asked her if she wanted to be a coach with me, and she said yes.
That is awesome. Well, Danielle, welcome. We're all going to give you a quick shout ready, and we're going to unmute all. We're going to get a woot woot or whatever you want to do. Mute everybody. Let's give it up for Danielle. Welcome. Woo!
Welcome, Danielle.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You. Okay. So So Danielle, welcome to the Go team. So glad you decided to hop on board. And like I said, I think in the post, you got a great coach in Kelsey to help you. Talk about caring, man. Like I mentioned earlier, when someone knows you care, that would be Kelsey. So that's good stuff. Hey, Jeanette just hopped on. That's great. Okay, so guys, I do have 2 new coaches, and they were supposed to be on, but I think Nancy's going to be hopping on later. But real quickly, I did mention them last week, but Nancy Zahner, killer. Guys, this gal's a beast. She's going to be just absolutely a killer coach in this. She's already a life coach, which is kind of cool. And we've just connected, and she's going to be just a really fantastic addition to our team. You guys are going to sense her energy. And then Patrick is just a crazy bundle of energy. Guy's just like newer on his fitness journey, but the man has such instincts when it relates to his overall coaching of others. He's just a built-in coach. It's just the way he is wired. God wired him in a really cool way. So that's good stuff. Welcome to those 2. If you guys do get on here and hear this, that would be we welcome you. Success Club, kids. Oh, it's a crazy, crazy month. And look who's on top of the heap. Oh, Miss Kelsey Combs, and she is up at lucky number 13 on the 13th day of the month. So she's totally pacing the days. So no pressure, Kelsey. Keep going. Tomorrow's got to minimally be 14. So suck it up, Buttercup, and get going. Just kidding. But you'll be great. And so let's, Kelsey, just fantastic. This is I think her Success Club best. Am I right, Kelsey? So far?
Yes.
Yes. And remember the days when you said, I don't know if I'd ever hit Success Club 5.
I remember the days where I would tell Nicole, I can't do this.
Yes.
And now it's different.
It is different. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love the fact that as you start to kind of break through some of those mental barriers with this as it relates to, like, you know, it's just you start to, like, what is actually possible? What can you actually do with this thing? And so really congratulations to you for your first month of hitting that great of a number. And I just encourage you, I mean, shoot, you're not even halfway through the month yet, girl. We got lots to go, lots of people to help. So that's good stuff. 3 Lives Club is me, Steph, and Brandy. I realize we're towards the beginning of the month, so a lot of us right now are a little bit maybe behind on numbers here. This is a little bit lower than a typical. And then we got TJ on the board. It's been a while, brother. So happy to have you back on the board. So that's good. TJ's at 2 and Claire's at 2. So that's good stuff. In addition to that, and I just got that late, and I really, really apologize. But actually, you know what? I'll just do it right here. I'm typing it in because I can do this. Ready? Stacy. It's like live. Stacy Reed. She's got 3. Bam. There it is. All right. So Stacy, good job for you as well. And guys, got to give a big shout out. Here's Miss Brandy, trustee. Y'all see her in the Success Club 5. This is her first time at Success Club 5. So big shout out for Brandy, and that is just fantastic news. So Brandy, congrats. You are helping people. You're just a shining light. You're a ball of energy, woman. Guys, if you're in a challenge with Brandy, and she is all about bringing the fire and fun, and she's just absolutely nuts, which I love. It's the absolute sapphire personality in me, if you guys know what the gems types are, or I think it's what's called the otter. There's some otter playfulness in all that good stuff. So good stuff. Now, really excited. Speaking of Success Club, and right now at this point, you know, Danielle, you may not even kind of really understand what Success Club is, but that's a good thing, because success and a club are a good place to be. So you want to be successful, and you want to be in this cool guy club. But that takes, you know, and you're going to learn that as you go through your coach basics if you haven't already. So that's good stuff. We have a special SC10 swag this month, y'all. You want to see it? You want to see it? It's swag. I'm asking, do you want to see it? Yes. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Yes. Okay. Ready? You do want to see it. All right. So ready? Here we go. I want to see if I got to put my camera on so I can see myself, because it's important in this part. Okay. Ready? I'm going to duck down. Whoop. Oh, yeah. You see what it is? It is Team Beachbody Coach. What? It's a hat. It's really cool. So, all right. So this is you. You get Success Club 10. You get this hat. That's it. Like straight up. So Kelsey, this is your hat. Already. What? Yes. That's you. So for this particular month, just incentivizing a little bit more. And I'm Claire, just so you know, Success Club 10 from last month, I'm connecting with you on something, just so you know, because she hit it last month and I don't want to make her feel like, wait a minute, I didn't. So I'm going to do a little special Success Club 10 because I'm going to encourage people to hit that level. There's going to be extra incentive every month for Success Club 10. I will certainly encourage and applaud Success Club 5, and you're going to get some great rewards. And by the way, Success Club 10, guys, just so y'all remember, not only do you get customers, but you get paid customers from corporate. They give you people. So good. And that's how you can help build out your last couple coaches. I've got Julia is a Success Club referral for me. You guys know who Julia is, right? Really good stuff. So just check that out and it'll be good. All right, you guys ready we're going to hit, last thing before we get onto this. I'm sorry. So vitals, so the vitals, real quick, guys. Once again, make sure you're doing your personal development. Make sure you're doing it. I would just and I'm not sure when you're doing it. So just quick shout out, if you guys wouldn't mind. When do you generally do your personal development? Can you check that in the chat real quick here, guys? Love to hear from you. When do you do your personal development each day? I'm typing mine in. Bam, there it is. Maybe at night. Everyone else is quiet. After the chaos has settled down. My days off work for sure, and then in the evenings. Okay, very good. 4:45 a.m. morning now. Eating lunch. See, Jamie's kind of a junkie when it comes to that, which is good. She's a PD junkie, which is good. Mid-morning and ingredients. What's that mean? Ingredients or in-car ride home. Okay. Okay, that's good stuff, guys. Just whatever you do, try to set a time and commit to it. And also, I just, again, encourage you to follow through on something that you genuinely need to learn. Not that's just that someone recommended to you, not just because Coach Dan said he liked it, not because, no, that's not the way to do personal development. Find something that works for you and then stick to it, okay? That's why I kind of get, and I've talked to you guys about podcasts. I don't mind podcasts, but man, if you're hopping from subject to subject to subject and not staying consistent on one kind of follow through on thing, it's really difficult to kind of really make progress, because it's like, one podcast will tell you, hey, you should do this kind of technique, and then another technique, and then you're all over the board, and then you don't really feel like you're just like learning to learn, which isn't really, you want to apply it, right? That's a big thing. All right, quick reminder, cup teams are still in effect. You know what? We got to do some checkups on cup teams in terms of, so Kelsey's helping her team. She's kind of carrying the team, I think, right now. Am I right a little bit, Claire, on that one? Okay, so we got to step that up, guys. That means you're probably, if you're still struggling right now, it's probably because one of two things. You're not connecting enough yet, and we're not probably inviting enough to something. Okay, and you might be currently you're inviting to the free challenge. That's great. And so as long as you're doing that, have patience. Have patience with the plan. But make sure if you've got a free challenge that started today, several I know you guys did, you're adding value and you're connecting like crazy. I made this mistake, guys, back in the day. I did all these free challenges and I really didn't connect with people. I just threw this out and I wouldn't actually, all these people, and then I would go to my friends instead of actually staying in my free challenge. Listen, guys, really carefully. I think this is a really good point here. If I've ever said something good, this would be a good thing to say, is the fact that in your free challenges, you have people already interested. So don't go outside and try to just go on fishing on your timeline and going, hey, maybe I'll find somebody new today. Flip. Dude, your free challenges. Connect with those are your main connections. Dig in. Hey, I saw, and that's where you can look on their timeline and go, hey, saw you went to wherever. Even if you wanted to, not connect on the fitness thing, but it's obviously super easy in the beginning. Did you get the thing? Did you get the food guide? Did you see where the group is? Did you watch my video today? if you don't message every single person that first day, guys, or at least by your second day who was in your free challenges, you're really missing out on an opportunity to connect with people. And then, because here's what I would say, guys. I've done this already, and the fun part is immediate return on that. Because so here I am connecting with all these free challenge people, and my post today I'm posting, bam, besides my one that laid a big egg because my timing was horrible. You guys saw me post that. But the idea is they're seeing it. Everyone's seeing it. They're liking it. Oh, hey, that's really cool. And so what did I post today, guys? Tonight, just posted it. I don't know if you saw it. I posted a transformation pic. Nate and Susie, who were just in our challenge. So here it is, free challenge that just launched today. Connecting with all these people, connecting, making the Facebook algorithm work for me. Guess what I post tonight? Transformation. Hey, our next free group starting soon. Our next accountability challenge is starting soon. You guys all may want to take a look at that. And all these people go, wonder what that is. That looks different. That's kind of cool. All right. So that's what I did. And I think it's working. That philosophy works. So just, you see there's method to the madness, right? So you always having something, and you're playing chess here a little bit, kids. We have to move a little bit past checkers. Checkers is fun. There's two colors, right? And there's like only the same kind of things. You got a king and anyway, moving along. But that's that. Did you post that in your free group? Maybe you said yes or no. No, I didn't post that yet in my free group. I didn't want to go there yet. I'm going to, but that's a good question, Jamie. I didn't want to go there yet because I think first day I'm just building trust. So I didn't want to go, I think you can do it, but you got to give it a little bit of time. So I'll do that probably on Wednesday, Thursday. Absolutely. Still struggling with knowing when to start inviting to the next challenge if you just started one. And that's where I mentioned, you guys, that's good. That's a really good question, Kelsey. I mentioned the fact that I think if we actually looked towards the end of the month to group together if everybody would sort of kind of do the pattern, second week of the month, do your main challenge, sort of second Monday of the month. And then maybe 2 weeks later, which would be the fourth-ish Monday of the month, we could actually do a combined group and it'll always be a little bit smaller probably because we're going to try to put our main thrust towards our main groups. But we can sort of combine and, pop in 3 people here, pop in 2 people here, and make a group of about 10 to 15 to 20 people that is a kind of conglomeration of 3 to 4 to 5 coaches. That could still be a viable group. Does that make sense, Kels? And then you've still got something to invite to. Because I feel you, man. When you get done with that, your challenge, and you're like, sweet, now we're rolling. But you're like, oh crap, now what do I do with inviting? Of course, free challenges are great. That's awesome. But even then, when you're done with your free challenge, now it's now what do I do? So it's having that outlet is good. Okay. Any questions about that? All right. We'll get to that in just a second. One other thing that I mentioned here. Let me write this down 2 quick seconds. Right. And then here we are. Yes. Okay. Sneak. All right. Same here. Open how and when. Okay, what is this? Still struggling with how and when. I have a free challenge done and there's a lag time till the next. Yeah, and if I wouldn't do more than 1 free challenge per month, it's a lot of energy. If that's what you're asking, Jeanette, on that. So yeah, that's a lot of energy to put towards that. All right, so guys, we're gonna get started. And this is the nuts and bolts, guys. And I'm gonna have to shut my screen share off. So I'm gonna stop that, and y'all get to see my whiteboard here. I'm going to try to. Now, this could totally be, I think it may end up being backwards. So I'm not going to do a lot of writing necessarily, but you'll see some of my, now if I write, let me see if you can see me. So if this, let me show, let's see like that. No, you can't see it at all. That's awesome. Okay, hold on. It's because the light's shining. Let me do this. All right, and I'm probably going to have to adjust this, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I should have done this earlier. I'm a slacker. Hold on. Oh, I can totally raise it. There it is. Okay. So now you can see my board a little bit, okay, at least somewhat. All right, so today, guys, we are going to go, and you're not going to see me a lot because I'll be out inside here, but I'll pop in here every second. We're going to talk about some things specifically. We're going to talk, let me see if I think this is backwards. Does this show backwards to you? Let me write, and if it does, let me know. Is that backwards? Totally backwards. Says volume. No, it's good. It's showing good for you? Oh, sweet. It just shows backwards for me. That's great news. Okay, so we're going to talk about volume. And we're going to talk about there's particular types of volume, right? So you guys have seen this term. So this is going to be advanced. Danielle, don't get overwhelmed by this. This is going to be a little bit more advanced. This is kind of like a 2.0 version call. So appreciate you being on this call. But it'll help you to understand a little bit of these things, some of these basic concepts as we get going. Okay, so you've got PV, and then you've got a thing called TV, okay? So PV is called personal volume. You guys know what that is? So personal volume is part of what you do to what's called to remain active, okay? We'll talk about active status in a little bit as we get going. But basically this is, so personal volume is actually your orders that you place, yours, okay? So the main orders that you place and orders placed by your customers. You can read customers, okay? Your customers, not your coaches, just you and your customers. Make sense? That's what PV is. So if you've ever wondered, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have it, or I got backed up on Shakeology and some, but I still was active. How did that happen? It's because you actually had somebody place an order under you as a customer, okay? And particularly I know this because like I have like with Lisa's account on occasion. This is back in the day when I was like, man, I don't know if I can make both of these deals, but I had customers underneath her and they would occasionally order, and so it would keep her active, okay, during that. So again, active, and we'll talk about active status in just a second. But so PV is where you're at. Now TV, just so you know this is your coaches' orders and their downline, okay? And their customers, sorry. Their downline and their customers. Well, so technically their downline and customers. Does that make sense? So team volume, there's a difference between team volume, personal volume. Personal volume, you, your customers. Team volume, which ultimately, obviously, we aptly described, coaches, your team, right? That's your team. Coaches, their downline, and their customers, all these people's customers. That's what volume gets. So when we talk about volume as a whole, and we'll get into this as we talk about team cycle bonus, okay, in just a second. Well, I might as well talk about that in a second. So the way that we ultimately get team cycle bonus is based on TV, not PV, okay? So this is where you ultimately are creating, because really, guys, just so you know, your customers relating to PV, personal volume, your customers is just retail. So that has nothing to do with team cycle bonus. That has nothing to do with what we call residual income in this. Now I'm going to have you hold on with me on this because you're going to start going, oh, Dan, you're talking French to me now. I don't know what you're talking about. What does residual income mean? It's basically any income that you aren't retail selling yourself. Got it? Residual income, which makes sense. It's the income that you're technically not having to sell for, which is the world that we want to get into, y'all. Okay? It's the world that we want to get into. You don't want to stay in retail mode for your life, because that will get you trapped and you won't make very much money. We want to talk about this more, okay, as we get rolling here. Now, another couple definitions that I want to hit here real fast here for you guys is legs, right? So if you're a coach, this is where I draw my little circle, right? There's your circle. You have a left leg and you have a right leg. Everybody has them. You got a left leg and you got a right leg. And here's the thing. Some folks your left leg is the strong leg. We'll talk about which one is stronger and how to tell and all that stuff. Some of you, your right leg is the stronger leg, okay? There is importance to know this, guys, as we develop our businesses, because the goal for the most part is to try to some degree balance these legs as much as possible, even though you'll always be trying to usually make things up. Now, depending on where you're in placement in our overall downline, you will either have a really great strong leg, or you won't have as great of a strong leg. And it'll take a little bit more effort depending on your placement, how much volume you actually have on your strong leg, and we'll talk about that in a second. So don't freak out with me yet. Okay, weak leg, strong leg, let's hold for right there. Now, rank. Y'all know what ranks are. You know what at least the initial one. There it goes. So your initial rank. What's the first one? Sorry, guys. That was fun. But your initial rank, right, is emerald. In this one, once again, back to the same diagram. It's you. Active coach on right, left. Active coach on right. Bing! Emerald. You've now signed up to coaches, and you are on your way to developing towards the next rank. Now, here's the deal. This is what actually technically activates your business as a residual building business. Prior to this, so if this one was in existence at this point, and it was just one of you or none, you're a retail selling coach. That's all you are. Okay, you can still make commissions, but you will never make residual income. Now, some of you are in this spot right now because you're going, I've got a few customers and we're rolling and I'm making some commissions, and ultimately I'm paying for my Shakeology right now. I'm just going to tell you guys, you can get trapped in that, and some people are willing to pay that long term, but I would tell you that coaches, people who become coaches, even discount coaches, studies show that they stay on Shakeology 2 to 3 times as long as being just a regular retail customer, okay? 2 to 3 times. So if they stay on it, like an average person stays on it maybe about 2 months, you're talking 6 months to even a year of somebody staying on minimally, and that's just averages, right? And if we do a good job of helping people stay in the process, they'll do great. Now, emerald, so you got, again, and this is a review for a lot of you guys. I want to make sure we got it. So in emerald, and we'll get into how the structure works with this in just a second. Let me see, hold on. Do I want to do this right now? No, I don't, not quite yet, because we'll get there yet. But emerald, and then we move into ruby, diamond, star diamond, 2-star diamond, 3-star diamond, all the way up to 15-star diamond, okay? That's kind of how rankings work, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, just so you know how the diamond things work. Now, placement, guys, you guys know we talk about the word term placement real fast. When we place a coach, we place them on the left or we place them on the right. You also, as you develop things, there are options down here. And we'll talk about this more. You can place a coach on an inside. At this point, you can place a coach on an outside. This would be outside left. And this would be what's called the inside left. Okay? Inside right, outside right. I'm going to tell you right now, just for now, these will never happen. I don't want these to ever happen. And we'll talk about that more at the when I talk about ranks, or when I talk about placement at the end, not the end of this, but as we develop just a bit further here. Okay? Now, placement, that's that. And then finally, active status. Who knows, you can type this in the chat, how much volume you have to, how much PV you have to have in order to remain active as a coach, as just a coach level. And actually, it's also for emerald. How much volume? Good, so 50. So 50 is your minimum volume. How much volume does a Shakeology order get? 90. So you're covered, right? All covered. Now, for Ruby, in order to remain active, who knows this one? Claire, do you know this one? It's different. Because Claire hangs out in Ruby sometimes. She's done that.
90?
No, actually a little bit less.
Oh.
So ruby, and we'll talk about that more about the rank here, what that means. It's 75. Okay. And then diamond is 100.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So check that out. If you are a diamond coach and you only, let's say you have your diamond coaches and you get your Shakeology, you have 90 PV, right? There's a 10 missing there. Why do you think that is, guys? And I'll open it up here real fast. If you guys have decently, I don't mind opening. If you're in a, let's get a little bit more discussive in this. I'd love to have that. Let me do that.
Dan, I found this out. Last month that you needed 100. I didn't know that. So.
Yep. So that's.
I was trying to get it 90.
Yep. So why do you think that is? Why do you guys think there is that extra? Yeah.
Is that for personal volume with your customers?
Yeah.
The extra 10?
Yes. So it means that you still have to have some active customers, at least one active customer, right? Purchasing anything, which is 10 volume, right? So here's your personal order of Shakeology. As opposed, you could order Energize as an addition to that if you wanted to do that. But minimally, we can make this up by a single order of anything from just a regular old customer. Okay, so that's what that happens. Okay, and then it gets increased. Just so you guys know, star, diamond, and above. And this is where Claire freaked out a bit when she first hit. It was kind of approaching this. It's 200 PV. And that freaks you out, but guys, really, that's you and maybe 1.5 customers. Nothing, really. And at that point, if you don't have that growing in your business, are you really growing a business? Come on, right? Okay, so let's not stress about that. All right, team cycle bonus. And you guys understand, we talked about that. That's your residual non-retail income. Got me? Residual non-retail income. All right, so let's talk about placement, shall we? Let's talk about placement. Now, again, back to this. If this is you and you've got I'm going to paint my picture right now. So I've got a strong leg. It's my left leg. So my coach is David. He's right here above me. This dude has placed a bunch of people on my outside left leg. Okay, he's placed a whole bunch of people. So there's a big old strain. It goes all the way down here on my left side. It's my strong leg. I will never cap that out. Just saying. There are literally hundreds of coaches on this leg. So I got really blessed in this respect. I've got a lot of coaches down below me on this side. Some of you are on my leg, okay? On this leg as well. And so you have lots of coaches on this. You'll probably never outpace your volume on this for some of you, okay? And if you don't know, we can talk more about that with you individually, okay? So you have a strong leg and you have a weak leg. Now here's the big deal, understanding that when you are signing up your coaches initially, guys, when you're getting things going, here's what happened with me. Check out. This is the big error I made up initially, and this is why it's so big about either spousal or family sign up early, okay? So here was me. I ended up signing my first coach named Matt. He's no longer with me. And then I figured, hey, well, I want to go Emerald. Sorry. No, the other way around. So Matt was over here. He was on my weak leg. And I went, oh, okay, well, hey, I'm just going to sign Lisa up. And I signed her up on my strong leg. And what happened, guys, ultimately in the long term of this, is that it effectively put Lisa, and then I ended up placing some orders and coaches underneath her to try to build her up to diamond, right? And I built her all the way to diamond, but because of the way that this rolls, and we're going to talk about team cycle bonus, this is actually the wrong way to do it. So everyone say after me, spouse on weak leg. Go. Spouse
on weak leg.
Okay, there you go. Or significant other, or family member, or however that works. If you got somebody who's really close and you'll benefit from that, that's going to be the one on the weak leg. Okay, we'll talk more about that in the team cycle bonus. Okay. So again, thanks for sticking with me. I want to say when you do need to change placement, y'all. Okay. That's all done in the back office. And there's videos we've explained this. So if you need to change placement of somebody, you can actually call Coach Relations. And if somebody, you've got, how many days do you guys remember? How many days do you have? 5 days, 5 business days to change the placement of somebody. After that, it is rock solid set where you can't change that unless they quit and then re-sign up, which is kind of a pain usually. Okay, because then you got to pay $40 and it's a big mess. Okay, so 5 days to change the placement. And what happens, guys? Initially, if you didn't do anything when you started, it's automatically set to make you emerald the fastest. So what will happen? Your first coach will get automatically placed. Bang! It doesn't matter which one, and then the other one will get placed on the other leg. I think it's usually weak leg first, then strong leg, but I don't know that. Okay. If you want to place somebody and you go, okay, hey, I really want to place my spouse on my weak leg, and you'll set that ultimately in the back office. It's called graphical genealogy, and you'll actually select the little person that looks like this little person deals, and you'll select it and it'll make it red. And then that's where that person will land. Here's what will happen. When you do that, you'll build another red person down below this person for your next placement, and it will automatically place everything on your right side if you did that in this scenario, right? You'd have to go back in and change it back over to the other side in order to get you to go to emerald, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's changing your coach placement. It's done through the graphical genealogy. You'll go and you'll see it, guys. I'm just going to tell you. You'll see on the back office it says set preferred placement. That thing is just whacked. I don't use it. I never use it because it shows, and we've always had it, the graphical is always the best way to go. Go to graphical genealogy, and you can see your legs, and then that's how it goes. Now, I'm going to tell you this particular strategy. This is a must remember for our entire downline, unless you want to screw somebody long term, okay? Don't screw someone, and this is the strategy. We always, I'm going to write it in big letters, outside leg strategy. Never innies. We're always outies. Okay? And what this means, guys, because here's the deal. Watch, I'll just show you quickly why. If there were, let's say, 4 coaches on my leg over here on this side, and I decided, ultimately, I'm going to place this on, like, just having fun. I'm just kind of decorating my tree. Like, I'll just put somebody in the middle here just for fun. Why not? And I put somebody here just for fun. What ends up happening, guys, this person will no longer, they have to then, when they build out their legs, check this out. Watch what happens. They have to build out 2 new legs. They have no volume coming to them. Now, they have their own volume coming to them on this scenario. Now, check this out. Some of you have seen this in your back office. And again, this is complicated stuff, so I appreciate this 2.0. But you've seen where this is your personally sponsored. So you, personally sponsored. And let's say at this point, I come along and this is Dan's coach. I put that person underneath you, right? And then, I don't know, Claire's on that leg too. It's Claire's coach. Guess what happens? This person is sponsored because you placed them on the outside leg. You didn't place them on the inside. They get the volume from Claire's coach, Dan's coach, and themselves in terms of volume. So any volume that they produce on their inside leg, it's going to actually be this will cycle, and we'll talk about the team cycle bonus. But just so you know, always place on the outside. So if it's an outside left or if it's outside right, it doesn't matter. Just always place on the outside. Never go on the inside. Got me on that? If you just remember that and you'll go, oh, Dan, I don't know what that means. Just always remember outside for right now and you'll be in good shape. Okay? Spouse strategy, very good. Last thing, get to emerald. The placement, guys, when you're going to get to emerald, I'm just going to say it's so critical to get to emerald. If you want to have a building business, you got to get to emerald, and you got to hold emerald, because that's where you're going to ultimately get some team cycle bonuses. So if you get to emerald and then you let it drop, and it's like a person who's like not working. I know early on it's a pain in the butt. I know it is. Like sometimes you're getting discount coaches and things like that. But finding that, I wish I was outside our line. But that's what ultimately happens, guys, is you want to have these two people underneath you minimally, so then you can be creating what are called team cycle bonuses, which I'm going to go into in just a second. Before I'm going to hit rank here real quick first. Okay, so rank. The basics of rank, guys. Let's talk about why you hit rank. Give me a good reason. Type this into the chat. Why is it important to hit and hold? Hold rank. But why is it important to continually be looking at rank advancement? Why is that a good thing?
Because of cycle bonuses.
Yeah. So cycle bonuses is a good one. What else? Cycle bonuses actually increase. Is what happens as you gain in rank. What else? Why increase in rank? What's a good reason why? You know?
Bonuses?
Yeah, bonuses.
Well, I guess I did that.
No, that's a different kind. There is a different bonus. Yeah. Leads.
Quarterly. Yeah.
Yep. Quarterly bonuses. We'll talk about that. And then ultimately, guys, it shows leadership to your team too, and it's something that can be shouted out really big. And you get a nice shirts, you get little bracelets and fun stuff like that ultimately shows growth. Leaders are growing their businesses, which means they're ultimately rank advancing. Okay. No, leads. What are leads? So leads are, that's a good point. When you do hit Success Club, ultimately Beachbody giving you customers. Okay. You hit Success Club 5, you get a referral customer that's not paid. Okay. So you'll get them as a customer, but you won't receive the credit for what they purchased. A lot right now, guys, big time. It's in the club membership is going like crazy. Everybody's getting those right now, which is amazing. It's a fantastic lead, guys. Just so you know, if you do, so Kelsey, you'll be getting those leads every week. Okay. So check your back office. You'll see new customers and you'll see them. And then often though, you can follow up with them and connect with them and say, hey, just want to connect with you. I'm your coach. Let's see how to make some good results. We have a form letter that we're working on to make sure that you can contact those people. Claire actually has that. So if she wants to share that with you, that would be pretty cool. Okay.
Hey, Dan, I also have something to add about leads because I didn't know. I'm like, well, where do they come from? And they come from beachbody.com. If someone just goes to Beachbody and orders something, or if they get an infomercial on TV, they see it and they call the 800 number and they order something and you just get their name. What else? Is that all? TV commercials and the internet?
Yeah. Two biggies. Yep. So it's good stuff. And then the second one, when you hit Success Club 10, like you just hit, so Kelsey, you'll get your first referral customer who's actually paid. And it's almost always a Shakeology customer. So you'll get minimally a Shakeology. It's usually a single serving, just so you know. It's very rarely do I see an auto ship fully on that one. But it's a single serving. That's like at least you're getting $33, right? Which is pretty cool. So money given to you for being successful. And then if you help them stay active and stay and connect with them, that's like a brand new customer. And then you can be getting residual, whether you are commission-based income moving forward. Okay. All right. So hit Emerald, one on left, one on right, and you're in good shape. And that's always the building block of your business. Okay. Now to go to, and this is how we're going to kind of structure this, to hit Ruby, guys. Ruby is not a big one. We're going to pass through it pretty quickly, though, here. So ultimately what this is you're going to get and develop. I'm going to make these a little bit small. Actually, you know what? I need to make the whole thing smaller so I can grow this. Okay. So smaller, here's you. Okay. And you're going to have a person on your right and your person on your left. You're going to go Emerald. Okay. And then what's going to happen? Underneath these people, and it'll always be on the outside right. I'm not going to draw it way out because, well, actually, you know what? I probably can't. Let's do it small. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 coaches on the right, left, and 4 active coaches on the right. That's going to be your basis for building your, I'm going to look up the downline to see where it placed their others' legs. You can check it out actually by your volume. You can see volume-wise which one is your strongest, and I'll tell you about that when we do get to volume in the last little segment here. Okay. So, okay, so these are your 4 coaches on each side. These are your personally sponsored 4 active coaches on each side. Now, on one of these people, and let's just say it's the bottom one on each side. It doesn't matter. It can be any of these 4 in the placement. But what happens, guys, is they're going to go and get 2 coaches and become Emerald themselves. So this is your PS, 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 you. This is your PS, again, PS, PS, PS. And then this personally sponsored one on the bottom here, they signed 2 coaches. Coach 1, Coach 2. They're not your personally sponsored. It would be non-PS, okay? You'll see that. And they appear different in your back office. That's an Emerald. This is another Emerald. So we passed by, sorry, I went right to Diamond. And this is the other side. So this creates, this guy becomes, I'll use red for it. I didn't have green, I'm sorry. But so this is a nice Emerald. This is a nice Emerald on this side, okay? 4 personally sponsored coaches each side, and then you've got 2 Emeralds balanced on each side. If you have 2 coaches, just so you know, it sometimes happens, you'll have a stronger leg. You'll get 2 people on one side be Emerald. And you'll be like, oh, I'm dying. I wish I had that person on the other side. And that happens. I know it does. That's why it's kind of cool, again, to have the spouse on one of these, right? Because then you can control that Emerald. That's exactly what Claire has done. She's got Leon, so she's trying to control that Emerald, which really helps. Yeah, sure. Covered by phone collar. Gotcha. Okay. Let me mute fast. Right. Thank you. Yeah, I see what's happening. Okay, so you got that and you got that. And then what happens, guys, is you're getting those coaches in there, and this creates Diamond. Now, basically the only difference between Diamond and Ruby is any of these, it's basically 2 coaches and an Emerald. It's basically dropping 1 coach on each side. So it's almost as easy to get Diamond as it is to get Ruby. And the hardest part is getting the 2 Emeralds, okay? Because you're basically teaching coaches to get coaches, right? And that's the hardest part, the initial part. But we're working on it, guys, because our training's getting better and our retention's getting better because we're getting more value, okay? And that's what ends up happening here, okay? So does that make sense, everybody? That's your rank advancement. That's how that rolls. Now, for team cycle bonuses, just go back here once again. When you rank advance to Emerald, you get every team cycle bonus, and we'll talk about this in just a sec, $14 per cycle. When you get, for Ruby, you get $16 per cycle. And for Diamond, you get $18 per cycle, okay? That's how that rolls. And what ends up happening, guys, this is really the key to making some really great money in Beachbody. Now, before we move past rank here, I'm going to just talk to you about, so some of you are like the mystery of star diamonds. And I remember going, what the heck does star diamond mean? I don't even know what that means. So there's 1 star diamond all the way up to 15 star. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, okay? Basically, so I'm a 3-star diamond, and that's effectively me having 3 diamonds underneath me. Does that make sense? So I'm a 3-star diamond. Each one of those is a star. So myself, I'm a diamond, but then I've got 3 other diamonds. And the way it has to work, just so you know, there's the magic of what we call the 2-star diamond is the magical place to start things, and that particular rank is basically you're getting 1 diamond on one side, one leg, 1 diamond on the other leg. And when that happens, and I've thrown a lot of information out here, but what happens is you get to open up basically another coaching account underneath yourself, which then you can ultimately make more cycle bonuses in this thing. And I'm going to show you a quick model on that as we go through here. So a lot of information. You guys all with me, sort of, kind of? I know this is nuts and bolts, and you're going, Dan, it's like you're talking accounting stuff to me, which is crazy. But Claire's like, I love this stuff. I'm just kidding. That's good. As a real quick reminder, guys, by the way, so this is how you're ultimately, when you get recruiting coaches like this and you're placing them, this is ultimately how you're going to develop your business. And that's why it's so critical to help people get some good progress and then invite them to our sneak peeks. You saw I posted it in the Coach Club. It's 2 weeks from tonight. Sneak peek. Okay? 9 p.m. Sneak peek. That's what we're going to do. And we're going to continue to develop more of you guys helping tell your stories of coaching success. Okay? Coaching success in this. This doesn't mean you need to be rolling in 6 figures to have some success as a coach. Okay? Minimally. It's paying for my Shakeology. Great. Hey, minimally, I'm starting to make a car payment. That's good stuff, however that rolls. Okay? Good. All right. Last thing, guys, we're going to close out with this is the big topic, which gets really confusing, so hang on with me here. And it's called Team Cycle Bonus. Are you ready? Yes? Nobody? Okay. So Team Cycle Bonus, guys, this is really, really important. So you have your left leg, and you have your right leg. And if you want to think about this, guys, as bank accounts, you guys, if you've seen the video on this before, Michael Neiman does a great job using little action figures, and he does this. It's kind of fun. So you can view this on YouTube. If you just literally search Beachbody Team Cycle Bonus, it'll be one of the first things to pop up. It'll be by Team Beachbody is the one who puts it out. But anyway, the long and short of this, you have a bank account on your left side, and you have a bank account on your right side. Whichever bank account is stronger has more money in it, okay, when it comes to volume. And again, returning to our phrase, team volume. This is your personally sponsored coaches, their customers, and their downline, okay? So it's just like this continual, how this all works. So team volume, here's how it rolls. For every 200, in this example, my left leg is stronger. For every 200 volume, on my strong leg, and if I balance that out with 100 volume on my weak leg, as a diamond, and it doesn't matter if you're a star diamond or you're 15-star diamond, it's the same amount of cycle that you get. You get effectively $18. Does this make sense? It can be all the way 15 levels down. Somebody places to like a couple places 2 orders and they get whatever team volume. I get $18 for that. I don't know who these people are whatsoever, but the cool part is I get some residual income based on this, which is very cool, guys. Now, here's the cool part about this. As you kind of go through here, and we'll kind of do a quick math equation. So let's say I've got 700 over here, and I've got 300 over here. Check this out. Everybody with me? 700 volume on this left side, which is my strong side. 300 over here. So I have to do 2-to-1 ratio. So I go 200 off this becomes 500, right? So minus that comes 500. And then that's going to take 100 off here. So I've got 200 left. That gives me $18. There's my first cycle of this. Then I got 500 left over here, and I got 200 left over here. It's all dependent on my weak leg. This is why it's important to know how much volume you're producing on your weak leg. So 200 is left, so I got another chance. I can get another 100 out of that. So we'll knock that off down. Comes down to 100, and we have to take 200 off this side. Remember, because that's the strong side. So 500 minus 200 is 300. So I got 300 left on this side. That's another $18. And then I still got another 100 over here. So that comes down, and it's 0. So I got 0 on this side, because that's my last cycle. And I got to take 200 off here. So I've got 100 left over here. So that'll be $18. So for that particular period, this would be over a week, okay, I would make, what is that, $54, okay? $54 for a balance of 300 on one side to 700 on the other. Now, here's the cool thing. This 100 doesn't just go away. It actually rolls over into the next week, okay? It's called carryover volume. So then, let's say next week we have, however, this will actually help add to that next set of volume, okay? So that's how the team cycle bonuses work. And again, this is for 18. Now, if you were an emerald, all these 18s would change down to 14s, okay? And that would be what? What's the difference there? So it's $42 versus $54, okay? So, news flash, and Claire knows this. So does Steph, a little bit. diamond rank and emerald rank are not that different, okay? Because your team cycle bonus, you're not making a heck of a lot more. You are getting more volume because you do have more customers, right, and more coaches. But in terms of team cycle bonus, you're not making a whole lot more, which is why it's so critical to push to get to 2-star diamond, which is where you start to get ultimately multiple centers giving you multiple, and I'm not going to go into that tonight. We can talk about 2-star because that's way more advanced than we want to go at this point. But basically, guys, you can get a lot more money when you have another business center because you can cycle multiple centers with the same money, which is basically how it goes. So you're basically effectively double dipping, and in some cases, if you have your spouse placed correctly, triple dipping on the same amount of volume, which is kooky and crazy and wonderful, okay? And that's where it's so good. All right, so we got that. There's your bank account. It's based on rank, like we said. So it's either 16 or 14, 16, or 18, depending on your rank, emerald, ruby, or diamond, okay? And it's why your spousal placement is so critical because ultimately, guys, here's the deal. This weak leg, if you've got your spouse on that weak leg and you need some more in that, you could actually add a coach or two underneath your spouse in order to boost that leg up more so you can start making more cycle bonuses, which is pretty cool. And especially, guys, here's the deal, which is why it's so critical if you can get your spouse to emerald and keep them there as well. Dude, you can make that same money, $14 cycle for them, and then your diamond, you can make a 14 for the same volume. You can make $14 plus $18 as a diamond for every cycle that you get. Dude, that's crazy good. That's like more than doubling your amount, right? It's really cool, or at least close to doubling, okay? And then last thing, I'm going to throw some numbers at you just to impress you for a second. Are you ready? Just to show you what's possible. This is why I really want people, and just so you guys know, and Danielle, I know you're new to this, so I hope you know my heart is, it's not just about money, but I do want to make this worth your time. Okay, this is a legitimate business, and I want everybody to know that there's definitely good money to be made in this, and it's not just because. So now, when you do get to 2-star diamond, there's kind of a fun little bonus thing that happens. It's kind of a profit-sharing pool. Every quarter, you maintain 2-star diamond. Okay, so 2-star. Every quarter, you maintain 2-star diamond, which is a diamond on each leg, for 6 weeks. You don't have to maintain it even for the whole time. You just have to have an active diamond on both sides for 6 weeks. You will get approximately, and these are approximate numbers because it's always based on how much profit the company makes during that quarter, $1,000 quarterly bonus. $1,000 just for being, okay? And that's in addition, of course, to all your other stuff that you've been doing. Now, once you hit 5-star, which is what I'm definitely pushing for this time around, okay? By summit, I want to be 5-star if we can. I would be, oh man, that would be crazy cool. And I'm going to try to actually put the wheels into motion to make that happen. Now, check this out. So 5-star, and I don't want to just throw numbers around here for you, but it's just the truth. 5-star, it's $2,500 plus the $1,000. So you get $3,500 for being a 5-star diamond every quarter. Every quarter. That's in addition to your pay. Guys, that's, what's it, 35 times 4 if you maintain that all year long. 35 times 4, right? 4 quarters. Dude, that's, what is that, $16,000 or $14,000? Come on now. That's a car. 1 year, a car, right? So, and then it gets kooky. Okay, 10-star. I'm just going to throw this to you just so you know. 5,000 plus 2,500 plus the 1,000 per quarter. So someone who holds 10-star for that long, check it out. Dude, it's crazy. You're talking $8,500 per quarter. You can pay off mortgages not too far. And then the last thing is 15-star, which is a lot of superstar diamonds are. And they actually have, those who are multiply superstar, dude, the money is insane. It's 10,000. So that's 18.5 per quarter. per quarter. And then if they have multiple centers, so it's insane. So guys, there is really a cool thing. The money potential is here. And I want you to know that, like, right now you're going, Dan, I don't even think but I was, and that's exactly where I was. I never thought I'd be a 2-star diamond or 3-star where I'm at. And now, I'm still trying to kind of struggle with the belief of me being a 10-star right now. That's where I'm going for. I'm not stopping at 5. I'm pushing for more than this. I want to be here in about 1.5 to 2 years. Okay. Where I'm at this point. So 5-star, definitely by the end of the year. Because that's what I'll have to do to hit elite this year. So does that make sense, guys? There's some really, really wonderful stuff that happens in terms of your bonuses. These are called quarterly bonuses. It's sort of a profit sharing kind of a thing. Okay. All this to know, this is my last thing I'm going to say because we got to roll, is that you can make money at this. You can. And I want you to stop being apologetic about it. Okay. I want you to be like, oh, I feel like I'm taking money from people. Dude, y'all have jobs, right? I'm looking right now at 2 nurses in front of me right now. I got 2 nurses sitting right in front of me. Actually, 3, because Danielle, are you a nurse as well? Yep. So I'm looking at 3 nurses in front of me. You wouldn't go, oh, they're just nice people. They like to take care of people. They're just nice. And they just, can't you do that for free? It's fine. What? And you'd be like, what? I went to school. I got all this stuff and I did all this thing. And I think that's part of the issue is like, well, you went to school and I guess, well, then, but even if you didn't, anybody who gives value to this world deserves to be paid for that, right, guys? If there is a form of that, not everything. There's certainly volunteer for things and things like that, but it's going to take some time away from your family. It's going to take some effort and energy. So let's make it worth it. And let's set your goals in a way that are going to line up with who you're trying to become and ultimately provide some of those things. Maybe it's a vacation for your family. Maybe it's like, I see people going to Disney every freaking year, and I would just love to take my family to Disney. I would love it. That'd be amazing. Or, my husband and I, we've never been on a vacation without our kids. I would love to do that. I want to go to Mexico and drink margaritas or whatever on the beach. And have a great time, of course. So, but just saying, I really want to encourage you that this is a viable opportunity and that definitely money can be made. Okay, I guess any questions that you got here? Appreciate you going over the stuff. That's good. So you can kind of just get an idea. Now, the last thing I'm going to tell you before we head out, let me go back to my screen share. Where is it? Boom. Share screen. I'm very excited about this because next week is Monday, the February 20th. It's going to be awesome. We got a special guest. Guess who's going to be? Ready? Jamie Murphy. Yes, and you're going to know your color. So this is really cool. Jamie has done some special training with a company called Intrinsics, I guess is how it's pronounced. And basically what this is guys, is trying to understand your personality profile and then how that relates to others and then how to read others' colors. So there's colors that sort of get assigned to people. And then as you understand them, it's so helpful because then you can sort of start speaking their language a bit more versus like, hey, I only know one way how to communicate versus actually when someone needs a different form of communication. Maybe a good example would be someone who really loves details and loves to know all the stuff, facts. And if you're just speaking about emotions and how it's going to make you feel and all that stuff, they're not even sensing with you. But if you can kind of come to their level and understand what they need, it's really, really helpful. So Jamie's going to talk us through some of that, help us do some training. There's going to be some homework prior to next week's call. And it's going to be posted tomorrow in the Coach Club. So it's going to be a little PDF that we have to fill out. It's not going to take forever, but it's going to help you be able to kind of assess this. And then when we'll come to the call next week, you'll have that ahead of time. So you'll know what, you'll have that information that she can talk us through. Does that sound good? It's going to be fun. All right. So guys, thank you. We got this recorded. I will post it to the Coach Club. Anybody, anything else good for the order? Thanks so much for listening. I'll unmute us real quick if there's anybody who has questions at this point. We are 8 hours. So. All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Dan. That was really helpful.
Good. I hope so. I know it was a lot of detail there, but hopefully it was helpful and it'll help you make some good progress. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you. Where is it?